Hello and welcome to the second episode of OFC TV Uncut, and I am with Rohan Sharma, the one and only Rohan Sharma.
Not India. There's so many in India.
In case you need to know who he is, there is a description below with everything. Now Rohan, when it comes to the Indian Super League, you're Mr. Controversial. And there's no other way to describe you.
Alrighty.
And we've always observed you and we've seen you full of this non-stop, unbridled energy. What keeps you going?
So, I don't know, Mr. Controversial, I mean, I like to get the reaction because sports is entertainment at the end of the day. So we do this for like just to get people, it's not real, right? At the end of the day, I mean, yeah, what's on the end product is the result, but sports at the end of the day, it's not a big life or death situation. So I like to draw a little controversy. In the past, we've not been doing well, so I can't, be as braggadocious as I used to be. So now I tone it down and be more positive. And I told everybody this year I'm gonna be a more positive guy. But once I start winning again, I'm gonna be bad again. I'm gonna be a bad boy again. I'm gonna start putting my memes and like all that stuff. But for now, I'll be a good boy. I'm a good saint right now.
And what about what keeps you going big?
What keeps me going, I told you jokingly I was Red Bull, but it's more the desire to prove people that I can kind of do this. It's very controversial to have a young guy like me, based on A, nepotism, B, I'm 27, I shouldn't be running a club, but I want to prove that I know I can do it, and I think I can. I've loved sports all my life, and I think this is gonna be a not fun way, but I think this is like I know how to get us to the top, and I think we have a lot of good people in the club, a lot of good coaching staff is good, and everything is good. So I think Aspire has been helpful. So I've learned a lot from my couple years being here. So it's been I think we're ready to rock and roll with that.
Now, Rohan, as you know, in India, sports is organized or unorganized.
Yeah. Okay.
And
quotes.
And you're still young. You said it yourself. You're young and you learn
very
on
beautiful.
the job.
Yeah.
Are there days when you wake up thinking that it's too tough for you? Or are there days you wake up thinking, how do I sort things out, or is it getting too much?
Yeah, I mean, man, I've had so many of those days, man. More in the beginning when you, because the first couple of years when you're losing like all the time, that's when it gets to you, and that's when you're like I don't know, you're like, come on, like what the hell am I doing here, kind of thing, and it's like that's when the stress gets to you. As time goes on, once you get used to it, you never get used to that, like losing and all this. That's why every game I get upset. That's why I don't like going to the games. I know it's a harder game or away game because the away fans being there, it's just never as fun. But you find a way to channel it to like motivate you, and find a way to like channel that like kind of anger and the frustration to try to do better next year. And I think that's why this year I think we did better, and I think we finally have our core, what we want and what we're looking for in our team, and the ideology with the players, the mentality, the style of play. So now that's why I'm hoping that that at least things can go better and better in the next year. And I've always said we've always wanted to be the championship team. We never begin the season saying we want to like let's just stay at the bottom. We want to stay at the top. So that's how it is.
Rohan, it's human tendency for people to get upset when other people say mean things about them or judge them, and you've been at the end of that. You've had people call you out and you've had people criticize you. How do you deal with that? Have you learned to sort of ignore it with time, or does it still affect you?
It's a bit of both. It's the part of me I always because I love this. If someone like says wild crap to me, I always love saying things back. But apparently, it's the decorum wise, because at the end of the day, I'm not used to it. I never was. I always was, fast talking kind of. I give myself a mouth in trouble, and I've always liked doing that. I like controversy, so this doesn't bother me. But then I don't know. I feel like I don't want it to go bad on like my family. Like sometimes when we moved, that's when things started crossing the line a little bit. So I don't mind if it's on me. I mean, sometimes it does matter because you're like they don't know, people don't know. But now, actually, in all honesty, this year I've ignored a lot of it, which is probably because you can mute and look on Twitter, but. You can. It hasn't bothered me this year. I think because the team doing better this year. I mean, I think actually the funny thing is the fans kind of mellowed me out a little bit. Finally, in a weird way. I remember we were talking. It's off this cuff that came. We were talking and they were saying that we get a lot of stuff from the ultras. We see a lot of abuse from everything, and it's kind of like shocking. And I said, guys, this year we're just not gonna involve ourselves with it. I said I would love to go crazy, make my pithy comments, and I have guys that go, and there are times I just want to go off because there are even journalists who do the same thing. Not even the fans, the journalists, and it's just like you want to set the facts straight, but then I don't want to go kind of like full like gangster out there. I'm trying to be like more behaved, keep everything down. And I'm gonna set a good example now because now I think if our fans are more mellow, I want to be mellow too, kind of thing. So I don't want to start more drama than you do. But at the end of the day, people should realize, people at the end of the website, I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't really bother me anymore. It really, really, truly doesn't bother me. But, it's for everybody else out there. Just, people out there maybe who are not as, cool with it as maybe me. At the end of the day, they might be upset. And it did get me initially, but then you're like, all right, you move on. At the end of the day, it's like 5 people, and you can log out. As I said, cyberbullying is funny because you just log out. You just turn off and you go back to your day. You're like, all right, cool. I can do what they're mad about. They wish they could do this kind of stuff, and we're doing it for real. So, what you gonna do?
Rohan, you've got one of the best people to learn from in your father. When it comes to
I know that question was going to end. I was like, what is it? The best people? Like, going to say Ashish, or is he going to say Coach Kambal? My father. Okay, cool.
He's one of the best people you can learn from when it comes to leading an organization. When it comes to taking decisions. So, what are the conversations you have with him about the club? What do your conversations revolve around?
Since now I'm kind of more or less the interim technical director as well. I mean, I discuss with him Indian players with them and what we're doing for our scouting grassroots program. So, I mean, it's more than that stuff. And at the end of the day, he's not he's into football because he watches us, but he doesn't know as much about football. So there's some things that are I have to try to teach him culturally and try to get him instilling some normal things that you don't know unless you really understand the sport. You won't know these kind of small culture fan groups and how to create all this kind of vibe and try to be less of a business and be more or less of a marketing gimmick and be more of a club, quote unquote club. And that's where we have that kind of gap, but we're working on it and it's coming along. I think that he's interested still trying to make this a professional kind of look. And I mean, I remember our first discussion was first getting cheerleaders in Delhi Dynamo was a long time ago, getting cheerleaders, and now at least it's gone down to the point where it's like, okay, no, we can make organic fans and try to get organic action and bring through within the community is more impactful than just spending money on getting celebrities or stuff like that to the game. So
I've heard you often speak about young players, right? I know you're very passionate about uncovering young talent, and you once told me that you want to bet on those whom the other clubs don't bet on.
Yeah.
Why so? What's the fascination with young talent, and is it because you feel this will sort of become the base for the club going forward?
It's a couple of things, really. I mean, I have two reasons why I do this kind of the way I build the team based on this. One reason I was very inspired by the NBA team, the Philadelphia 76ers. I like the fact that I like the fact, but they basically tanked to get three actually, but one didn't pan out, but 3 generational at that time talents. And you had bad luck that the lottery worked your way, but they got Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, and at that time Markelle Fultz. And I like the fact they said, you know what, we're not going to spend money on getting LeBron, we're not going to spend money on getting Steph, because at the end of the day we don't have that kind of bandwidth to go for these super teams. So let's just get the youngest players and develop them into our system. So that was my idea when we moved from our last management, from when we transitioned from season 3 to season 4. We decided not to do any more big names, decided to get all from these smaller names. Because I thought, okay, get the biggest names of India, who were like 20 at that time, and say, let's see what happens with them. I like the underdog, because now I've extended my model to getting like these guys that, like Jerry, who was kind of like a kind of forgotten asset, and now we knew that Jerry is really good. We always liked Jerry, and I've said many times, even our ex-technical director used to say that we are trying to get these kind of players who are really good. Somewhere or the other down the road, they took a bad turn, or they got a bad contract with some organization. They decided to go on the team, and maybe this was the right fit, right? The system, like Anu, right? Not the right system. Came here, different system. Now he's a different player. Maybe that's what it is, and that's why I'm trying to get these kind of players. I've always think getting young players is the future. You have to get young players because young players learn better than the older players, and I like creating. I wanted a core. I didn't have a core. A lot of these teams had people forget, outside of maybe Jamshedpur, these teams all had a core of Indian players before they went in the draft. I didn't. The reason why is because we were focusing so much on foreign players. I couldn't take a first round pick on Shovik, even though I love Shovik. I couldn't take a first round pick on Milan, even though I like Milan. I couldn't. Honest, I was like, okay, he's a little older. I didn't want to go on Honest for. We need a goalkeeper. Mumbai had a goalkeeper. Bangalore had a goalkeeper. Kerala, well, didn't have really much, but they had an idea. I forget who was at that. Who was their goalkeeper at that time? Because Tipe was at Northeast. But I forget who Kerala.
They had a foreign goalkeeper also.
Yeah, but I forget who they took I thought they took someone in the draft, didn't they? No.
Kerala had Sandeep Nandi.
But that was in season 3, but I don't remember. I forget who they took. Maybe they didn't take me. I'm forgetting my technicals thing. But I know Northeast at TP. Anyway, so all these guys had a goalkeeper, and we had to take a chance and get someone new. And so we had, and then unfortunately Albino. So that's why we had to rebuild the team from scratch, really, and that's why the 2 playoffs were good for legacy. But I think it actually set us back because we didn't have the right core. Now we have a core. We have. Okay, you have Vineet, you have Nanda, you have Jerry. We want to keep Shubham. Gaurav is still here for another couple of years. Arshdeep is here for another couple of years. I don't know when this is coming up. I'm not saying the names, but we've signed 3 other young players to come to so we're going to sign more. So all these things are happening, and it's getting this core. So they grow up with the team, to get used to it, and they want to stay loyal. And I'm happy. Like, Vineet and Nanda staying meant the world to me, really, because that means they believe in the project. Gaurav signing for 4 years is like, I believe, because he knew I was courting Gaurav for like a good summer. He knew how much I wanted. Like Super Cup, I ran into him after Chennai City had played, and I was like, I really want you to come to Delhi at that time, with Delhi, now Odisha. And so it was like, you gotta come through. And so this is what I want, and I've hoped, like, Jerry Shubham stay for as long as I would like them. Gaurav, he's a center back I think he needs to be a center back for the national team soon. He can do it. He's so good. Nanda and Vineet have been right with me now for 3-4 years. They're just gonna get better and better. And Shubham, I think I mentioned, but he came from being a midfielder, a striker, to right back, and things are changing. And so that's why I said I think enough pieces that have a core. And Arshdeep, I like Arshdeep. I don't know why I saw a lot of hate for Arshdeep. I think he's a good keeper, man. I think he just needs time, and he's still young. You forget keepers don't get mature until they're 26, 27. It's hard. It's hard being a keeper, and at least he's brave. And he's making decisions. So I think we have a good core now. Honestly, where we were 3 years ago, we didn't have a core, and now we do. All right. Thank you. I'm on team on my game. Let's do this, man. Thank you, my man.
Thanks.
Thank you, bro. This is.
Ron, you've seen the fan culture in the US. It's fanatic, it's fast-paced, it's exciting, and it's generational, right? It's passed down from father to son to daughter. What's your take on the fan culture in India, and what are your thoughts on it going forward? Especially when it comes to football.
Oh, football? I don't know. Football is interesting. I don't know how y'all become fans of certain teams. I think y'all like certain players, and then that you kind of gravitate to. I mean, I don't know. Are you a Man U fan?
Yeah.
So were you because of Rooney? How'd you become a Man U fan?
I think I got attracted to the team because it was a team that was doing well at that point of time, winning everything.
I was going to say this, but I had a place that sound like kind of like a douche. But I was say Indians like frontrunners, huh? In sports we tend to like something once you've succeeded. So like you know how we all became and PVC did the badminton thing. I saw so much more love for badminton, which had the gold medal. When the wrestler, I forget her name, but when she won the gold, like a bronze, then there was a whole thing. She became such a big brand, and now the track star here, now she's a big brand. So like we tend to like go after the fact. So India has been doing like great in cricket, but like recently hasn't been doing as well. Like no respect, but like, but that's why people became fans of cricket. So I think Indians like to do when they see success. I don't know what's going to happen in the AFC Champions League and how Goa is going to do. If they start doing well, I could see more. Of course, it'll help Goa, but more and more interest will be big news here. The more you have stories, like I really do hope that Sanjeev is in Portugal gets game time, because that'll be a great story. That he's actually getting playing time, starting and getting playing time. It's not just a marketing gimmick. I mean, these are things. If these things happen, then more and more of this stuff happens. And of course, you get more Indian origin players get national team time. Then that also makes a difference then as well. So there's a lot of factors. I think it will develop. You see. I mean, again, like going back to fan culture. I mean, when you're losing, nobody wants to really support you. In Kerala, the joke is now that the fans have like 8,000 from 60,000. You know, and so. And I'm sure, you know, I've seen it go low in Delhi. I've seen Northeast what happened, and I'm sure it would go here if the team wasn't doing as well. But the key is to give them reason why they want to come back for more and make that connection with the club. And I think that now we've started doing more and more things with the people here and with the fans here. And whether I just saw some day fans are getting jobs, fans are getting within the club or whatever, and it's nice. There's a more connection with the community now, and so I see it more. So I think that's what will keep things going even through our lean years.
You've been in Bhubaneswar for quite a bit now. You've seen the city. And what are your thoughts about Bhubaneswar and Odisha now that you've had some time to take it on in?
Oh man, that's a good question. Odisha is actually, I really do like Odisha a lot. I do think that it's like a very coastal town. The people here are amazingly nice. I've had a great time really just trying. You have a great, I don't know how to describe it. You have a lot of potential in this state. I don't think people know it within the state, but I love how everybody here is so proactive about things and creative and trying to make things better. I really feel like Odisha is one of those places like Dubai where it was really like, nobody really knew Dubai, and then suddenly became like overnight like a huge success. Odisha has that same kind of honest traction because the government is caring a lot about taking things forward. There's a long way to go in the city development, I mean, one of the hardest things I'm having to deal with this year, I never had in Delhi. Well, I did have in Delhi to some extent because of pollution, but we have a hard time retaining foreign players, getting people here because Odisha and Bhubaneswar to some extent are so far off the map for people. That's why even there's like a joke that our fans in Dare Be Dragons, because no one knew there was football in Odisha, and then now there's here, and that's the same thing. No one knows really. When you say Mumbai, you say Hyderabad, you say Kolkata, you say Delhi, people know that city. You say Bhubaneswar, people don't really know. So that's the hardest part. And of course, right, there's not much as well, malls and hotels. But I've seen that's what in the mall. I've seen the restaurants. I've seen what you've done here. I mean, people. There is. You can do it here. You can make multiple of these malls and like stores and like food restaurants, and people will come. I mean, I heard that there was one of these stores that I was seeing. There's like a barber shop that's in the mall. It's from the mall. It's very popular. It looks like a very fancy Dubai salon. And
Watch goes there.
Yeah. So there you go. So that's why like people are going. So that's what I said. If the more infrastructure we do, more infrastructure that gets built, and the more stuff they do, and more foreign players will come spend money. I mean, that's how we start spending the economy here. I mean, now you have nine teams coming staying in hotels every time in Odisha. I just saw the Kerala teams, a huge bunch of them staying in the hotel I'm staying in right now. So, I mean, with this team, I think we're going to do a lot of impact, social impact, and as well as financial impact within the city. I think if the city invests more, and they're doing it, doing more of these kind of Esplanade malls, doing more of these kind of things, like I know they're doing a whole new stadium and doing all this kind of stuff for the youth under 17, and it's great for us, honestly. They do more stuff like that, development around that area. They can turn this Bhubaneswar into what it was like for Manchester or Liverpool was before all this, where it was kind of like a quiet, sleepy, just industrial city to a point where it's like, wow. And unlike other cities, you have so much land, you have an airport, we need more flights, more direct flights, please. International flights as well, that help us a lot. And I want a Taco Bell. If you can throw in a Taco Bell here, that'd be great. If I'm throwing this request to the government, Taco Bell, I'll create a wish list of things I want. I'll be very happy with that. You guys gotta get Buffalo Wild Wings. You have that in Hyderabad. Amazing. Because you have wings here in Chili's, you don't put sauce here. I think it's weird. You guys fix that. So can y'all fix that? I don't know who watches this video from the government. If you can fix that with the Chili's there as well, put hot sauce in the wings. Go a long way. I don't know what else I really would like. Oh, Dairy Queen. I don't know if you have heard about this. We have this in Dubai. It's ice cream place. We need like a good ice cream place. You have Canterbury's. It's okay. It's decent. But I'm telling you, soft serve American ice cream, we gotta get that here. I'm telling you, we'll all get fat in the summer. Fourth thing I would want, I don't know. I need a good sports bar. We need a good sports bar. And then I'm not saying I'm not a big clubbing guy, so you don't have to do this, but something for my foreign players to have somewhere to go to after the games, because they come, they're upset. I see upset, they just don't have nothing to do afterwards, so they're just playing Xbox. Or rather than just have something like, you know, you're doing all this stuff right here. You can pan right there, camera guy, and you can see, you can just put like a bar somewhere around here, and like a nightclub or something. I don't know. We need to have some kind of like outdoor event for people to go to that's not in like Puri or something. We need to have like a nice kind of thing here. So that was my request. 3 fast food restaurants, I think, a sports bar, because it'll be cool to have that. Maybe like an Odisha FC sports bar. We'll talk offline. And the 5th thing was a club, some kind of nightclub, because we need something. And I'm not trying to be like controversial. I don't want anything too grandiose. When it's not Mumbai, okay, or Goa, but like, okay, we have standards here in Odisha. I'm just saying, I just want some kind of clubbish kind of thing. You can decide how much you want to make it, scale it up to like booze or whatever you guys, up to you guys, but just something, please. We're on the search for Odisha FC.
Rohan sir.
Yo, what's up, bro?
I saw you driving by.
Did you?
I have a question for you.
Alright, let's do it. It's kind of a traffic light, bro.
Oh yeah, your hair looks luscious. What shampoo you use?
I use the best kind of shampoo. Heel shampoo! You can do it! Too! I believe in you, my friend. What's that, man?
I like the parallel you drew with the cities of Manchester and Liverpool and what the clubs did for those cities, you know, before those cities were industrial cities with hardworking men and women, and then those clubs came in and they did impact it. So that's a very good reference point for people to understand how a club can affect a city in a way if everything goes the way planned. Now to round this all off, I want you to answer 2 things for me.
So no ice cream?
There's no ice cream.
Okay, damn.
One, your happiest moment that you've spent so far with the club, anything from the club that's given you extreme joy. And 2, drink some of the poison and tell me what's made you cry. What's the one thing that's really made you cry, it's hurt you badly and given you a lot of pain?
I'm trying to think now, because there's 2. If it's for Odisha FC, or I mean for my former?
Just in general, I don't want to put a
I mean, because you know,
on that.
because the problem is, and this, you can leave this all in. I'm not leave this all in. This is my dilemma, because I've only been in Odisha for this year, so I don't have as much of a run. Like I have 3 years of Delhi, so most of my memories, positive memories. I mean, I'll give 2. We'll see if I can do 2. My best movie from this year, I'll do my best year of all time. Best year from this year was we beat Mumbai 2-0 at home. because I went top 4 for the first time in 2 years. The team was in like top 4, and that's where I was like, holy crap! Like finally, we're in the top 4, and something I'm doing is right. So that was like a really powerful moment for me. The happiest I've been was when Delhi. Wow, there's 2, because one was when we came back from ATK. We were down, I think 3-1 at the season 4. We came back and we won, I think 3-2 or 4-3. I can't remember what the score, but I remember I was running. I was like, ah! The other time I actually was screaming. I went because we came back and I just lost it completely. That we beat Bangalore at home 2-0, and Changte scored him, and I was like going crazy that time too. That was the first time we beat Bangalore, and I was going crazy. Both season 4. See, because that season 4 was one of our worst years. So when we had those 2 wins, I was going crazy. We really came back. Made me cry. So again, season 4. Both my happiest finally are all from season 4. Cry when we lost Churchill Brothers in Super Cup. I was probably the most upset I've ever been at a team in my life, because I was just so furious, because it was such a dumb game to lose. I knew the foreign players weren't in focus for that game. The coach had lost the locker room. It was like clear that everybody was out of that thing. And I remember I took all the Indian players the first time. I usually don't get involved with the team too much. I talk to them occasionally if I see them, but I don't usually. I try to not be as front and center to them as too much. But that was one time I took all the Indian players that were like Changte, Vineet, Nanda, Romeo, Albino, and told all up to. I said, yo, next year. I was pissed. I was like, next year, I don't care what happens. We can never do that again. We can never do that again. That was the most embarrassing, because Churchill was getting relegated at that time. And we were up, we scored so quickly, and I think we just took the wheel and just screwed it up. I was so upset. And this year was a Jamshedpur game. I even told Abhijit, that's analyst, he put his picture in post next to me. I told him I was so pissed. I was like, how the hell did we were the red card and we still logged through that game away? And now I'm thinking, if we won that game, 2 points, it could be a different season. But that game, and if that ref could have called the game right at Goa, we could have had 4 points minimum, and that could have been at least something in our standing, and that killed our whole season. So that's what it is. I mean, those are my 2 saddest moments. 2 saddest moments was losing Churchill and Jamshedpur this year. And happiest, I mean, this year Mumbai and being, I would say, Bangalore or Kolkata that were coming back out of those times I was going crazy. But I mean, I like to think my happiest moment has not happened yet, because my happiest moment will be when we win the trophy. So I don't know. For now, this is good. I mean, I can just throw it in. You guys can pick which one you like the most. The other happiest moment is when Vineet got called up to the national team for the first time. For the senior national team, I was so happy, because Vineet put the hours in and deserved it, and it was good to see that. When the under-23 team, when they were taking a selfie together, and only the Delhi guys did it, because they were only 5 of them from Delhi, so it was a cool thing. That's like, it's cool, most of our players are from that. I don't know, man. I guess signing Gaurav also was another happy moment. Because I really wanted Gaurav Bora. I mean, y'all don't know, I really wanted Gaurav Bora really badly. I was like, and that was when coach was like, you give us that one player for the whole entire year, you have to be Gaurav Bora. I was like, I'm getting him. And Pune is going to liquidation, so it was such a pain. That deal took, I think, like 4 months. I think 3-4 months to do, and it finally was done. I was like, oh, I need a cigarette now. So don't smoke and kill. You put that smoke and kill sign that India puts in everything. I've seen it in the movie theater too. Yes, but I was watching Harley Quinn. Same thing. You put that smoke and kill. So I'm like, what? How do I smoke? But yeah, I mean, that's a lot of happy times, I guess. And sad times, I guess I gave you 2, but that's about it. And Changte, I guess that's a whole. I don't know. Get that down that road. That's a whole nother road. That's a whole other, like a drinking version of this card game, and then I tell all those secrets. But yeah.
That brings us to the end of this fun and extremely quirky interview. Thank you, Rohan, for being on.
And being quirky.
Yeah, being quirky, for giving us your best, I feel, and for bringing so much energy to this. So I hope it will be fun for those watching. Yeah, man. Celebrities. We're not interested in any celebrity endorsement this year. We're doing organic Odia people. That's what we're doing. But if Disha Pani wants to come to the game, open ticket for you. I'm shooting my shot there. Who else do I have out there? I don't know. That's about it from that end. Unless Rihanna, you're watching this. I don't know if you are. Give me a call. My DMs are open for you. I mean, you can just text me. If someone give me a number, I'll make it work. I don't know how this Bhubaneswar thing. You're in wherever you are in LA. I'm in Bhubaneswar. We'll make it work. I don't care. I'll fight for you. Shout out to Chennai City. I love Rohit. Rohit's a good guy. Don't tweet about it. I don't know if are in India. Are we pro Trump here in Bhubaneswar? Are we pro against Trump? I don't think we are. Are you guys? Are we pro Trump down here in Odisha? No. All right, good. So there we go. So that's the guy.
So there you go. That's you hear from ODI people. Nobody's pro Trump here. So that's why I like Odisha FC.
Hate Trump.
Good. He hates Trump. I like Odisha. The grass is always greener here. I agree with that. I've been quiet about it the season's over, and I can say it. It is greener here. The reason why the field wasn't ready because of the refurbished of pitch, but you see next year, so much better. And we did better than last year. 2 bad seasons, we did better this year. So you know what? Take that. And our fans are too nice. And I shout out, the fans are nice. I wanted the fans to have a little more banter for next season. Oh, under 18 team, 2 of the top scorers. That's what. Shout out to them. This is a shout out section of the interview. I'm just doing shout outs to everybody. Shout out to Abik for doing journalism school and asking the right questions. This is probably the best interview I've had. He asked me like real emotional questions. Shout out to him. In post, I do want a gold chain and like a giant cigarette coming out of my mouth, and then like a hat and like. You can have like the blingies, like yeah, gang, at the end of it. Please make that happen. What else did I shout to them? Shout out to the 2 top scorers. Hopefully they come in next season. Have you heard? Has the coach heard about this? I mean, he was 20 goals. That's incredible. 20 goals. One of our players got 20 goals. Incredible. Hi, I'm Rohan Sharma, and you're watching OFC TV. Like, share, and subscribe below. You can put the thing below, the link in post.